Don't look now. your sentence. Well, what I meant was, well, I can bite my tongue off, but silly girl, why don't you just say it? Am I going to marry Horace Vandergelder? Yes, I am. Just as soon as he asks. Oh, Mrs. Malloy, I'd rather die on the rack than ask you such a personal question. But while we're on the subject, why would you? I mean, because he's rich. And he's the only thing that can save me from the millinery business. Me, I hate hats. Hate hats?
stuffed whale at the museum.
Women, Barnaby. Stuffed women.
You see? There's no one here. We can leave now.
I'd never forgive myself, and neither would you.
Are you sure this is an adventure, Cornelius?
You don't have to ask, Barnaby. When you're in one, you'll know it. Now, how much money do we have left?
40 cents for dinner, 30 cents for the train, and 20 cents to see the whale.
Well, when they come out, we'll say that we're rich. That way we won't have to spend anything.
Well, why don't we just say Mrs. Levi, sir?
No, we're not supposed to tell anyone that. We're just two men about town looking for a hat for a lady. Good afternoon, ma'am. Wonderful weather we're having.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are your hats?
Charmed to meet your acquaintance. Lovely place you have here.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Cornelius Hagler.
Barnaby Tucker here.
I'm so happy to meet you both. Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, we're two ladies looking for a hat to Malloy with.
What he means to say is we're hats, you see, and we're wondering if we could find two ladies to Malloy with.
We want to buy a hat. For a lady, of course. And everyone said to go see Irene Malloy because she's so pretty. I mean, her hats are so pretty.
Well, what would the Mrs. Hackle be liking?
Well, actually, there is no Mrs. Hackle.
There is too, Cornelius, your mother.
She didn't mean that. Did you, Mrs. Malloy?
Now, this lady friend of yours, couldn't she come to New York sometime to pick out the hat herself?
Well, actually, there is no lady friend.
But I thought you said.
Well, she's Barnaby's.
What? Oh, yes, well, she lives in Yonkers, and she sent us here to buy a hat. Perhaps under $1.
Oh, out of the question. Money is no object to us.
Gentlemen, I would like you to meet my assistant, Miss Minnie Fay. Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Mr. Tucker. Mr. Tucker. Mr. Tucker.
What?
Did you say Yonkers?
Oh, yes, I did. We're from Yonkers.
Oh, you are?
And forgive me for saying this, Mrs. Malloy. You should come to Yonkers someday. By that I mean you and your gentleman friend should come to Yonkers. Some say it's the most beautiful town in the world. Well, that's what they say.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I don't have a gentleman friend here in New York.
Did you hear that, Margaret? She doesn't have a gentleman friend. Too bad. Well, if you happen to have a Sunday free, we'd like to show you Yonkers from top to bottom.
It's very historic.
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be in Yonkers sooner than you think. You see, I have a friend in Yonkers. Perhaps you know him? I know it's so silly to ask in cases like this. Why should you know him? It's a Mr. Vandergelder.
Horace Vandergelder?
Vandergelder's Hay and Feed?
Yes, do you know him?
No!
Oh, as a matter of fact, Mr. Vandergelder's coming to the shop this very afternoon.
Horace Vandergelder? Here in this shop? Oh, Cornelius, look out! It's all wolf trap! Look out!
Gentlemen, what are you doing?
Begging your pardon, Mrs. Malloy.
Come out of there at once!
We're perfectly innocent, Miss Malloy.
Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, if you do not come out of there at once, I'm simply going to have to... Oh, Mr. Vandergelder, how nice to see you. Dolly Levi, what a surprise.
Irene, darling, how well you look. You must be in love.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Malloy.
Mr. Vandergelder and I thought we'd pay you a little visit, Irene. That is, if it isn't inconvenient.
Inconvenient? Whatever gave you that idea?
Mr. Vandergelder thought he saw two men in the shop.
Men? Men in a lady's hat shop? Come into my workroom. I'm so eager for you to see it.
But I've already seen it twice.
But I'd like to ask you for some advice.
Advice from Horace Vandergelder. The whole city should listen and grow rich.
Advice is cheap, Mrs. Malloy. It's the things that come gift wrapped that really count.
I've never heard it put more beautifully.
Chocolate-covered peanuts, unshelled, the expensive kind.
Why don't we open them in the workroom?
I've come here today, Mrs. Malloy, to discuss business, just as soon as Mrs. Levi says goodbye.
Don't mind me, I'm just browsing.
So, what's new in the hay and feed business? Are things still so beautiful in Yonkers?
What on earth are you talking Malloy, I demand an explanation of this.
And I'm going to give you one. Why shouldn't you know Cornelius Hackle? Everybody in New York knows Cornelius Hackle. He's here at the opera, in all the fashionable homes. Why, he's at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant 3 times a week.
That's impossible. He's got $146.35, and I keep it in my own safe.
Mr. Vandergelder, you're killing me. He's one of the Hackles. They built the canal.
What canal?
The Erie.
The Panama.
Oh,
It's not the same man.
who took the horse off Jenny Lynn's carriage and pulled her through the streets? Cornelius Hackle. And who dressed up as a waiter at the Fifth Avenue Hotel and dropped an oyster down Mrs. Astor's? Well, I really can't say, but it was Cornelius Hackle. He's the playboy of New York. Now, Irene, I can see you are as taken with him as anyone. Don't you go thinking of marrying him.
Dolly, I've only seen him once in my life.
If you think it over carefully, he breaks hearts like hickory nuts.
Who?
Cornelius Hackle, of course.
Mrs. Malloy, this is highly irregular. I'm afraid I shall no longer be calling on you. And how long has he been calling on you?
Suppose I were to tell you, Mr. Vandergelder, that he has not been calling on me. Not now, Minnie. There's a man! He's in contact to work in the bathroom immediately. Poor girl, she's delirious from overwork.
Mrs. Malloy, if there's a man in this closet...
No, Mr. Vandergelder, do you realize what you're saying? Now, before you say one more word or make one more move that you might regret, allow me.
Dolly!
Stand back. It might be dangerous.
Oh!
There, you see? So much for that nonsense about this darling girl having a man in her closet.
Mrs. Levi, no man who hides in ladies' closets can frighten me. Stand aside.
Stand indeed, Mr. Vandergelder. And that's exactly what the court's going to want to know when you're accused of entering that closet without a search warrant. I mean, what do you stand for if you don't stand for the laws of this great land? I know what I stand for. I stand for motherhood, America, and the hot touch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. Betsy Ross's flag is passing. Do you see him on the hill at Gettysburg? Big and bright, triumphant march. If you see him as he's tramping through the grapes of wrath, stand up and march, march, march.
Has this not affected you, sir? I came here at 14 years of age as a young girl from an immigrant land that oppressed her people. And I must echo the words of that great and patriotic American.
Moses!
I stand for motherhood, America, and the hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. There's a tasty meal passing. Do you see him on the bridge at Waterloo? He's the great triumphal arch. If you hear him singing Dixie in the sugar fields, then march, march, march.
I stand for Alamo, remember the Alamo. I regret the lives that I forget those roses cloud and train. In the words of Lincoln, one if I land to my sea, and I take that territory down. The Stonewall Jackson floor, victory for the crown. So yeah, step and march, march,
Those were 7 years ago.
march, march, march.
For a more perfect union.
March, march, and the torpedoes full speed ahead! March, march, So you see, Mr. Vandergelder, there couldn't possibly be a man in this closet.
God bless you. Mrs. Malloy!
All right, Mr. Vandergelder, there is a man in that closet.
Aha!
And another under the table.
Good Lord, the room is crawling with men! Irene, congratulations!
Mrs. Malloy, I shan't trouble you again.
Horace, where are you going?
To march in the 14th Street Parade with the kind of people I can trust. 700 men.
Wait! Mr. Hackle, I demand an explanation. Minnie, have you met Mr. Tucker? fun in jailhouses.
Just because you're rich and famous doesn't mean that you can go make all this trouble without making amends.
Right.
We'll do anything.
Anything.
Well, if you ask me, I've added up the offenses these two have committed, and you've got grounds for at least 2 writs, a non-compos mentis, and a garnishee. Now, the main thing is to show you tried to settle it amicably first. Have dinner with them.
Dinner?
Is it absolutely necessary, Dolly?
It's the way things are done in the law, Irene. Dinner first, garnishee after.
Well, then, if it must be, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, you may take Miss Fay and myself to dinner.
Well, delighted, Mrs. Malloy, and I speak for Barnaby, too. I hear there's a really great donut shop down at the Tracy.
Oh, no, Mr. Hackle. If the Harmonia Gardens is good enough for your fashionable friends, it's good enough for us. I hear they have a lovely orchestra there, Minnie.
Oh, we couldn't do that. Oh, it's not the money or anything. It's just that it's...
It's the whale!
It's the whale! No, it's not the whale. It's the dancing. I don't know how, and it would take me days, months, years. Chief clerks, 28 3/4 years old, taught to dance.
Now, Mr. Hackle, it's really very simple. I mean, you just step like this, and step like this.
Mrs. Levi, I have absolutely no sense of rhythm.
Absolutely